Boom. All right, I think I'm live. Hey everyone, how's it going? I haven't done a live video or a video in general on this channel in forever, at least more than a year. And I apologize about that. I've been pretty busy and, my mind gets focused on so many things, but I thought this weekend, I need to start sharing more of all the things that I deal with or work with or projects that I experiment with and as I start moving forward. So today I'm doing something a little different. And hey, prices of hard drives are expensive nowadays. They're like double what they were more than a year ago, quite more than a year ago, because of AI data centers. So some of the hard drives that I have that I use often, which I bought when they were cheaper, they start to fill up. And it's important to manage the hard drives or the data storage that you have. And one of the best tools to do that is use AI centers, right? But I'm going to use today, I use different types of AI and experiment with different types of AI as my career as an IT director, also profession or on the side when I'm home creatively for a lot of my creative outlets, right? But today we're going to use AI to help reorganize and clean up some of the things on my Mac. And I've used a lot of different AI models within the last few years, ChatGPT being one of them. In our organization, we're starting to utilize more Copilot. But personally, over the weekend, I started really digging into Claude and more importantly, using Cowork and code. But what I'm going to talk about right now, and yeah, in order to do more than just the chat, you need to do um, more than the free plan. So I did the pro plan, which is I'm doing monthly right now to test it out, see how I like it. But it's the $20 a month plan. If you do annual, I think it's $17. And if you have to do more professional than that, there's higher tiers. But this is just the pro plan right now. So what the task is, let's see if I can do this. So I have a couple different hard drives on my Mac. Um, on the internal drive, I've got my downloads. Okay. Everybody's got that. And for me, downloads becomes like the junk drawer of storage. And if you sort them, right, I've got a lot of different things that I will download, save, whatever. It's a pile of stuff. Some things I don't need, some things I do, or I might want to refer to later. Okay. But freeing up space in my download area gives more storage availability on my Mac to make sure everything performs really well. Because on your internal storage that you're using for your laptop, whether it's Mac or Windows, there has to be a good amount of free space for stuff to run. Okay. So now I have a couple different, I have an external drive right here that's in a little box that basically makes it a really, really fast storage device. And this one has about 2 terabytes of data available. But if you look at that, whoa, I don't want to rename it. If I look at the info on it, it's a 2 terabyte, but I only have about 400 gigs available to use for that. And I've been using it for a lot of information. And this is something that I'll have to organize a little bit later on. I also have another 2 terabyte drive which I'll use for a lot of stuff with my laptop, right? Instead of my Mac Mini that I have on my desktop right here. So I've gone through and I've organized and created like a staging area, and I've built some things out. And one area that I built out is for downloads, where my downloads are going to go, right? And I put together a little bit of a structure and created an archive as well. All right. So now what I'm going to do, I'm switching over to Claude Cowork. And when you're working with Claude, see if I can do this. Hey, it's new for me, right? So you can chat, you can go to Cowork, which I'm still looking, but this allows me to at least connect to tasks and perform some items locally. And this is the Claude desktop app. And so with this, I have whether I'm doing chat, whether I'm doing Cowork or code, which I'm excited to work with, because hey, when I didn't grow up using a graphical user interface to program or do anything. I was used to using a command prompt, so that's what I'm used to. All right, but anyways, so I digress. So when you do chat, you've got projects, and for this one, I already set up, my work one, my nothing but corgis, my van corgi stuff, and then my professional tech brand items. So I go into Cowork, and what I did, what I wanted to do with this, right? This is my active one where I'm going to work on organizing everything to clean up my. So what I did is I did this prompt here. I wish I could zoom in on the desktop app, but I just can't. So I started this conversation with Claude and told it that I need help cleaning my download folder on my Mac Mini M4 Pro. My internal SSD, and this is the volume name, it's Macintosh HD. It's a 512 gig SSD, and it's got about 119 gigs free. So I want to get the downloads folder to 0 by moving everything into a staging area on my external hard drive. So my 2 terabyte external drive named Matt's Drive, don't delete anything on it yet. And then, so here are my drives. I've got my source, my Macintosh HD, and my 2 terabyte Matt's Drive. That's going to be my destination for staging and archiving. I've already created the folder structure. So then what I did, is I screwed up. The volume name is Matt's Drive, but for some odd reason, I named it Matt's SSD here. And I had it start. So then what I asked it to do is that I want to use this folder structure for the cleanup and have the subfolders where I'm going to put installers, graphics, everything else. So then what I want you to do is, number one, I want you to scan the volumes, the Macintosh HD, users, Matt Berry, downloads, and then give me a quick summary and a breakdown. So it did that. It was able to do that. And here it gave me a breakdown of everything across. I do a lot of exports, so there's a lot of CSVs for sure. But I want to keep a lot of that information, or at least review it. Okay. So then here's the big story. Last year I did do an archive from Facebook. It contained a lot of different zip files, so I want to make sure it moves that stuff over. I have some installer files. Some of them I could probably just delete. And then I've got a lot of miscellaneous stuff, so I'm curious on how it's going to get everything done. I've already backed all this stuff up prior. Don't worry about it. So what it starts with is it'll go through and say, hey, before I start moving, do you want me to go ahead and connect to the drive to make sure I can do it? And this is when it was, because it had already analyzed my downloads. Well, now it's going to the external one for what I previously had named this drive for the path. And then so it asks if I want to check to make sure it works. Yep, please go ahead and do that. And then so it had a problem resolving because the name was wrong. And it asked your permission the whole time, to allow this permission to be able to work, right? So then it didn't resolve the path and asked me to modify it. So I told him Matt's drive is the name of the volume. Then it was properly able to connect. And then it said, hey, by the way, those folders exist, everything, right? So now we're going to go ahead and now we're ready to start moving. And I'm going to have it start moving these items in its location on Matt's drive. So now we're live. We're going to start doing this and let's going to see how it works. Using a dictation feature is the best thing to do for AIs. I'm just going to tell you that. I'm ready to start moving. Let's go ahead and execute this command just like you have everything laid out. Make sure you're moving items to the appropriate location on Matt's drive, whether it is a staging or an archive folder location. If you have any additional questions or need additional access, let me know. All right, we're starting up. Let's see what happens. Drum roll, please. This is a good thing to do on lunch. I should eat something, but I'm so excited. I thought I'd go live with you and let's try this out. Because, this has been on my list for a long time to clean and organize my files. Oh, then once I get this nailed down, I'm going to have it reorganize some of my work files too. Actually, when you're dealing with AI, one of the things that I've really been focusing on is you've got to pay attention to your governance. When you're storing files, focusing on your metadata is so important because folder structure, as I found out, as everybody knows, it is easy to create large folder structures to hide your data, but that's what happens. Your data is hidden and it's hard to find, and it's hard for AI to kind of really dig deep on some of those folders. And what users typically ask is, how do I find my files? So I'm learning that, adding metadata, especially in a Microsoft environment, learning how to incorporate metadata into the work that you do to help AI identify the files and know what to do with them, super important. I'm doing this while I'm kind of waiting. All right, kicking off. All right, starting with archives. Oh my gosh, here we go. I got it. Now I need to see. I think it's just analyzing right now. Because right now, let's see. Yeah, I don't see that there's any data going on right now. I wonder if I should. I'm not gonna change the scenes and mix and match. But when I start seeing something, I'll say. When I see something, I'll say something. But yeah, right now it's working. It's thinking. Once I see something's moving, then I'll look and see if it's actually copying. So I haven't gotten it. It hasn't asked me for any additional permissions, but I approved them earlier. So, and I love right up here. There's a 45-second timeout. is too short for 2.7 gig files. All right. Okay. So right up here, at least nothing transferred, timed out. See, these are, and hey, nothing may happen. I don't know. We're gonna find out what happens. And this is look, I mean, this is literally live. I have not attempted this prior. Um, but I'm interested to see what happens with all of these. And now, granted, the Facebook archives, those are some large files. Um, so I guess that's the good thing to try first to see if it runs into any issues. Okay, so right now, since it went through and tried um, to move one of the 2.7 gig files, then it initialized an rsync transfer. So since nothing happened, it's going to write a full move script to run in the background. Okay, let's see if this makes any difference. So right now it's writing the script to move the downloads. And God, I copied all this stuff. Or, I mean, it's not the end of the world if this screws up, is what I'm saying. Bum, 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 bum. Maybe I'll find some music to kind of play in the background while we wait for some of these things. So, bum, bum, bum. Where am I going to go? Still writing. I'm still here. I'm just looking for if I can find any music that I can download that I won't get hit with a copyright strike. Ha. We pick up right where we left off. You are the peace I know. Still, I don't know if anybody gets a lot of spam calls, but man, I tell you, that's one thing I wish AI would do a little bit better. All right, let me see. I gotta find something here. Dumb, I'm trying to live it and stunt. I think I even have downloads that are music. I should have created an MP3 category. Oh, gosh. Sometimes I don't even know if that's just stuck or not. All right, let me see here. Now I'm going to go back over to Finder. I haven't seen anything move over from archives yet. Um, Crazy. Come on. It does. It looks like it's actually stuck. Oh, this is where I could ask a question in the middle of, but I already did. It didn't proceed. All right, let me stop the Claude response and then ask it again. Okay, let's try it again. All right. Oh, here we go. Hold on a second. Allow. Okay. I did notice it was off the screen, if I'm being honest. I saw the allow button. There we go. That's what it was. So it didn't need to write that script. I just needed to pay attention and allow it. Okay, so now, okay, it's looking for the source. Okay, let me go over to my, all right, I don't see anything moving yet. Oh my gosh, the anticipation is driving me crazy. Oh, is it going to bump me out and tell me to run it in terminal instead? All right, hang tight just a second. We're going to go through. Let's go ahead and open terminal. I'm sorry. Instead of having internal dialogue, I should have read everything out here real quick. Hold on a second. Do. I don't even need to do that. Hold on a second. I will just. God, it's been a while since I've gone live and done this. I'm going to switch from. No, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to Finder, and then I'm just going to switch from Finder to Terminal. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and run the script. Oh my gosh, that's crazy when I move the cursor right over there. Okay. Now I'm actually going to go to Finder myself and make sure. Yeah, source is correct. The destination's okay. All right, it went through and it created a log. There we go. It's starting to dump files. Okay, I'm actually going to switch this back over to Finder. Oh, wrong one. Here we go. That's the first one that's gone through. So, yeah, unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to have to rely on Terminal. So, I'm going to dig into a little bit later. That's a little bit of a bummer. But it could easily analyze everything, right? So it's currently so it's got the first one done. It's working on the second one. Oh, there we go. Boom. Yep. And that one finished downloading. Okay. So okay. Super handy tool to help me analyze and it created a script, right? It created a script to organize, to analyze and organize my stuff. Okay. So that took some of the work out of it. All right. All right. It simplified matters to give me a bit of a script to get this done. I'm going to see how far this progresses. And okay, so I'll concede it wasn't a one-step process, but maybe it could be, right? So it ran into a few limitations. I don't know if that's the same on a Windows device, right? Or if there's some other, some of the limitations it just ran into, if I can figure that. But hey, this is the first go round. It didn't take that long, honestly. With going through and prompting it, it's been just under 30 minutes and it generated a script. I was able to pop it into Terminal, okay? And it's actively processing all of the items. Yeah, I'm just going to have to wait and see once it's complete if it actually moves it or if I need to do my own cleanup from. But anyways, really interested to see how this turns out. And yeah, when I fine tune this a little bit more so I can try and manage my other external drive, I'm going to do another video about this. So, yep, there we go. Hey, thanks for bearing with me. I appreciate it. Doing some tech on my lunch break. Have a great day. Bye, everybody. See ya.